The excitement of purchasing our signature Gloucestershire Old Spot cured ham is the carving process that allows you to experience where flavor really comes from. Our cured ham legs are stored in a vacuum seal pack inside of a one-of-a-kind Joyce Farms cloth ham bag. Once you have removed the ham from the vacuum seal, wipe it down with a clean cloth or paper towel to remove the excess fat. Next, place the leg on a ham stand and be sure to secure the leg firmly so that it doesn't budge during the carving process. You will be repositioning the leg as the carving process goes forward. After the ham has been firmly secured to the stand, identify the parts of the leg you will be carving. To do this, it is important to understand what bones are included in the leg. They are the hip bone, the femur, the tibia, and the fibula as they lead up to the hind foot. These frame up the parts of the leg that can be carved, which are the cushion, forecushion, and the rump, as well as the shank. For the purpose of this demonstration, we're going to flip the ham so that the forecushion is facing upwards. This will allow us to carve along the shank and down towards the rump, carving away most of the forecushion in the process. Before you begin carving, cut a ring around the shank with a sharp carving knife to create a line so that your slices maintain a clean cut stopping point. You'll notice this as you begin carving away the top layer of skin. This will, of course, expose the lower layers of fat. You can also make another carving line across the base of the forecushion to help isolate the section of the leg you're carving without exposing more meat than necessary. Be sure to remove large slices of the fat that can be reused for storing the ham when you've paused carving, so don't throw them away just yet. As you continue to carve away the fat, you will begin to expose more of the meat. Once you have reached an adequate stage of desired meat to fat ratio, the carving can begin. As I carve away the forecushion, we can see that I have already begun to cut into the bone section that adjoins the femur and tibia fibula sections. To avoid carving into the joint, make a vertical cut about a ½ inch deep just below the joint towards the rump. This is what we call a step, which helps keep the cuts clean without carving into the bone. One helpful tip to keep in mind is to maintain consistent and straight lines to ensure thin slices. As you carve away more of the meat, you will most likely need to make more steps, so keep a close eye on where you might be slicing into the femur bone. Once you've finished your carving session, you can use the fat slices that you cut at the beginning of the carving process to lay over the exposed meat. The open air and temperature, as well as moisture, will begin to oxidize the meat and degrade its freshness. However, with the fat slices fully covering the exposed areas, you can be sure the flavor and freshness of the ham will be preserved for a longer period of time. Just be sure to store the ham in a cool, dry place. Once you're ready to continue carving, simply remove all of the protective slices of fat and keep them close by in case you need them again for another stopping point. Since I've completed a large portion of the counter cushion and rump, we're going to flip the ham and begin carving one of the largest sections of the leg, the cushion, also known as the maza. Repeat the same process as before. Carve away the skin, slice away the fat layer enough to see the meat, and begin carving a new section. As you carve more meat away from the cushion section of the leg, you will find that the length of exposed meat will increase. A good way to help keep your cuts even and presentable is to slice into the meat at the very center, very similar to how you would create a step. This will make carving even slices more manageable. As you slice further down into the leg, you will need to continue carving away the skin and fat along the sides. Keep an eye out that you're not including those layers in your slices, or it will change the flavor and eating experience. Also, keep an eye on any areas of the leg that tend to have more sinew, such as the shank area, which can be carved out to access areas of the muscle that are more tender and flavorful. This is where I tend to find my favorite part of the ham. As you progress further into the shank, you will start to notice a bone protrude on the rump side of the ham. This is part of the hip bone called the H-bone. You need to keep a close eye and cut around the H-bone as you go further into the cushion section of the leg. Carving out larger chunks of the exterior side of the bone is a great way to clear out parts that can't be thinly sliced, but can be cut into cubes for tapas or served as excellent garnishes for salads. As you continue further into the cushion, keep making steps along the tibia and fibula bones as you near the femur joint of the ham. Once you've sliced away as much of the ham as you can now reposition and secure the ham leg onto its side. Here you can begin to carve away the meat that remains on either side of the leg bone. Where possible, you may carve larger chunks from around and in between the bones, then slice them into cubes for tapas as well. Once you have finished carving, the bones may be used for ham bone soup or even a pot of greens. At Joyce Farms, we strive for the best flavor in all of our products by producing them with better practices that have a better outcome on our health, animal welfare, and impact to the environment. By carving our cured heritage ham, you'll witness all the work that it took to humanely and regeneratively produce a delicious heritage protein that can only come from a healthy animal, as well as experiencing the intimate connection we share with our food that makes any good meal memorable. We thank you for investing in a better food production system. We hope that you'll enjoy carving, eating, and sharing a heritage protein you won't find anywhere else.